I mean, the thing about will and the hard problem of consciousness is that anybody that intimates at all that they have it figured out is full of shit, right? I'm not intimating that. People try to call me on it as though I am, but no, I'm just trying to talk about it. I'm trying to explore it. It happens that there's very few ideas. Now, this idea that somehow it emerges from complexity, I've thought about that for decades and decades because I first read it when I was a teenager, even younger, in Robert Heinlein. I think the moon is a harsh mistress, you know. The computer network becomes aware because it's so complex. I like the idea. I'm a computer programmer. Several years I program AI for a virtual city, a simulated city, online world for people. Virtual environment. I'm not saying I figured anything out. I mean, it was interesting. I'm just saying I'm interested in that stuff. That stuff fascinates me. Okay, so that's one proposed idea. But it still is, it's like it draws a question of, well, what kind of complexity? You know, let's get some more detail on which kind of complexity. I mean, the sun is complex. It's not just complexity, is it? Is it an amount of complexity, you know, like an entropy level? Doesn't seem like that would make sense. Okay, and the other thing is this Hameroff idea, Penrose and Hameroff. Now, what I like about that is, again, it's food for thought. And they're following it based on real scientific criteria. Things like, hey, well, we notice there's no 40 hertz, so yeah, so the part of the brain that does the coherency and switching and communication between parts of the brain, other parts of the brain, is turned off. Okay, that's probably part of it. So what he says, though, is that it's these tubulin have a little quantum computing pocket in them with a few bits, and through the neural gap junctions, they act as a waveguide, and so you have a quantum coherency effect among a bunch of neurons firing 40 times a second. Well, that's interesting. I mean, if that's true, you could almost look at your subjective experience to try to see if it's true. Does it seem like consciousness happens 40 times a second? I mean, when you're conscious of something, are you getting 40 frames a second? You know, when you're super conscious in the middle of playing golf, do you get 40 frames a second? A movie's 20, IMAX is 60. You know, they thought people couldn't detect under 20. Consciously, people have trouble telling you changes below 20 frames a second, 25. But they've also done studies now in IMAX that I think it's 60. I could be wrong. Someone correct me, please feel free. That the human brain does react to that. Well, that would saturate this conscious moment. And it's not that every conscious moment would have to be like that. It'd be that our machinery. And, yeah. So why not? Those are two ideas. Do you know any third one? I know there's a third one, that our consciousness is our immortal soul that God gives us. But I'm not counting that one.